Just to prove that I am once again incapable of keeping my promises, I do have this game, and I still haven't played it. I think I'm starting to lose my touch in this whole new franchises thing. Hey everyone, Brobuscus here, and welcome back to another Let's Watch of Death Battle. Today's episode, at long freaking last, we have with us today Cole MacGrath from inFamous versus Alex Mercer from Prototype. The winner of the 3D ballot, coming off right after the winner of the 2D ballot. So that's fun how that works. But obviously, before we get into it, of course, there should be a link in the description below. You can go watch the actual episode yourself. Go support the official release before watching some random guy need to react to it. Okay? Got it? Cool. So, Cole MacGrath versus Alex Mercer. inFamous versus Prototype. Two games that I have not played at all. Even though, again, I've had this for the last, 9 months. And I still haven't put it into my freaking PS4. I have no excuse. I mean, the last 2 weeks have been kind of crazy for me, but apart from that, yeah, I got nothing. I straight up don't have an excuse for why I haven't played this game. The best excuse I can give you is that I was actually kind of waiting for this episode to come up next so I could at least give it a try before the episode came out. And then the last 2 weeks have just kind of been hectic between work and video stuff, and I'm now making money off of this channel. It's not a lot of money, but it's still money. Thank you again. I have to say thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I really do appreciate it. I still can't believe that is a number that I have reached, but despite me not having played either of these two franchises, I would say that I am pretty familiar with these characters. Cole, he was a delivery boy, and one of the deliveries he got was a bomb, basically, that nuked pretty much the entirety of Empire City. And gave him his powers. You ever just get electric powers after surviving what's essentially a nuke? Saturday morning for me. Anyways, but yeah, Cole, he's got some cool electricity powers. He's got ice powers, and there's also this whole thing about morality in the game. You can make a bunch of good decisions and become a really good guy. And this goes for inFamous 2 as well. Or you can make a lot of really bad decisions and become kind of a dick. The whole good Cole versus evil Cole thing. I really do wonder how much evil Cole is going to play a factor here, because they said that they're not going to just outright ignore it. But, anywho. As for Alex, he was a doctor who was experimenting on something. I don't remember. And was I think it was the Blacklight Virus, or I don't remember, but he essentially had the virus in a vial or something, and he got gunned down by a bunch of military guys because of reasons, and before that happened, he slammed the vial down, shattered it, and spread the virus everywhere. Whoops. But the virus kind of revived him, kind of. And by that I mean it used his corpse as a vessel. So the Alex Mercer we're getting in this episode isn't really Alex Mercer. It is the Blacklight Virus possessing Alex's body, I guess. And in Prototype 1, I know that he kind of goes under a morally gray sort of area. He's still kind of a monster, but he wants to do good in the world and try to really just find out who he was and what his purpose is. And then Prototype 2 was just like, nah, screw all that. Let's make him hate humanity and want to infect everybody with this virus. I don't know if people, I don't know what the common consensus on Prototype 2 as a game is, but I do know that what they did to Alex is not very well favored. But either way, both these two seem like pretty cool characters. I don't really have much of a strong opinion one way or the other. I did gain, yeah, words. I did gain quite a bit of respect for both of them while working on that that little AMV I did. I know you guys watched that because that got some pretty crazy views. Well, I mean, got 1,000 views, but it was still. That's still pretty crazy for something that isn't my reaction videos. Please watch. I can't control what you guys watch, but please give the stuff that isn't my reaction videos a watch, because I put quite a bit of effort into those. That AMV I did took like 2 weeks. I'm not even kidding. So with that in mind, you know, all that is to say, who do I want to win? Who do I think is going to win? It's Cole on both fronts. I'm just gonna put it bluntly. I want him to win because just in general, I just garnered more respect for him. Even though I do own Prototype, I don't have any way of playing inFamous, but just looking through both of their stories gave me a bit more respect for Cole than it did Alex. I still like Alex, but I think I just like Cole more. And I think he's going to win because just straight up, I just think he's way more powerful, faster, tougher. Like, I mean, we said it on the podcast that literally just went up today as of recording, but beginning of game, Cole stomps Alex. The explosion that gave Cole his powers that I mentioned earlier is responsible for is way more powerful than anything Alex has ever survived. The only way I can see Alex winning this is I will say that Alex has more like versatility, like just in the amount of things that he can do with the virus. I've heard arguments about him infecting Cole with the Blacklight Virus, but I've also heard arguments that Cole could either resist it or hold it off long enough that it's not really a viable win condition. Alex has some pretty crazy regeneration, but it can be overtaxed. And depending on how extreme the condition of his body is, it takes longer to regenerate. Like, there was the moment that everybody's going to bring up where he survives like a nuke. That I think was stated to be like 5 times the yield of the little boy bomb. He was not at the epicenter for one, and also it still blew his body apart, and he would have taken hours to regenerate his body, roughly. I say would have because it ended up taking like not even a minute because a bird flew by and he absorbed its biomass. That's the thing. The more extreme the attack, that like the more extreme the wound, the more that Alex has to like absorb biomass to regenerate it. If it's like getting stabbed in the chest or getting his throat sliced up, he can regenerate that no problem. But if he loses his arms or something, or if he gets blown apart like he did in the nuke, he's gonna have to absorb some biomass in order to regenerate faster. Otherwise, he's gonna be a puddle of goop on the cement for quite an extended period of time, to the point where if it happens in a death battle like it would here, Alex would just be declared the loser. So I just don't think Alex has what it takes to beat Cole. Yeah, I don't really know what more I can say, so let's just jump right into it, because I've been really looking forward to this episode. Let's do it.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by HelloFresh
and Shady Rays.
Cool.
Cole MacGrath, the patron saint of inFamous.
Alex Mercer, the Blacklight Virus prototype from Prototype. That's right, champions. You voted for it, so we're finally doing it. Long after these characters were ever relevant. Oh, hey, look what I found in the trash. An old script we wrote for this very matchup way back in 2013.
Wait, we haven't emptied our trash in 10 years?
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
So they're using an old script
With
from
great
2013.
power comes great responsibility. Tobey Maguire's not the only superhero who's had to learn that lesson.
Cole MacGrath was just your average delivery boy in Empire City until one day he opened a package that exploded in his face.
This was the Ray Sphere, a device that, upon erupting, destroyed much of the city and tore through Cole at the atomic level.
Killing him instantly. Nah, actually, he scooped up some superpowers. Cool, zippity-zappity superpowers. Pew.
More specifically, Cole became a conduit, one of many beings who were granted supernatural abilities from the Ray Sphere explosion.
Which also turned Empire City into a godforsaken hellscape. This world needed a hero, or at least an anti-hero willing
Quit
to
college
clean
to
up
piss
the
off
mess
his
he sorta
parents.
technically made.
Cole put his powers to the test, battling rogue superpowered
Red
conduits,
Brimstone,
including
Chris
the
Dracula,
Mercer
like all the
and
cool
last,
kids.
Kessler.
Let's be real, none of Cole's powers are as sick nasty as his parkour skills, but his ability to manipulate electricity is pretty sweet too.
Cole controls electromagnetic energy. Not only can he generate a smorgasbord of powerful lightning attacks, he can also manipulate
Live
thermal,
action
kinetic,
commercial,
and
I'm guessing.
gravitational energies. Electromagnetism is pretty broad after all. This includes his radar pulse, which detects the bioelectricity inside organisms even if they're hidden or transformed.
And for good
So
measure,
no
he
stealth.
got to add some ice powers to his kit. He can throw ice grenades, shoot ice spikes, and let out some epic ice farts.
He can levitate like Electric Iron Man, grind
Okay.
on rails like Shadow the Hedgehog, read your mind like Goku's Muffin Button, charge up with extra karmic energy, also like Shadow the Hedgehog, and generate force fields like...
Shadow the Hedgehog.
But these aren't just force fields. They literally convert any matter they touch.
A lot of
into
references
energy
in
that
this one.
Cole
I don't know how I feel
absorbs.
about that.
That's insane.
How's that?
Are you familiar with a little equation called E equals MC squared?
No.
Oh, well, it defines the mathematical relationship between matter and energy, essentially how much energy any given mass contains.
Okay, the largest mass object Cole absorbs is a 343-gram helicopter chain gun round.
Perfectly converting matter to energy is technically impossible, but hey, this is a video game. The mass contained in that bullet, when multiplied by the speed of light squared, would release an energy equivalent to over 7 megatons of TNT. This means Cole's energy output is basically fueled by a nuclear reactor.
Oh,
Cool.
So he's like a living super bomb, always ready to go off. Sounds like my first ex-wife.
Should he somehow run low on energy, he can drain it from nearby
But you
appliances
really brought
and
back
recharge.
the ex-wife
He's even
thing.
learned to drain the
Yep, this is a
bioelectricity
2013
from
script,
people
alright.
like this. Yikes.
Cole can focus his electricity through his amp, a giant tuning fork which lets him ring around the Rosie to death. Or he can just make lightsabers out of his hands. That's cool too.
Yeah.
And because he follows Pokemon rules, Cole's extra resistant to electric attacks.
With these powers, Cole chewed through Kessler's forces, including Sasha, whose black tar powers could infect and control minds.
And he eventually faced down that son of a bitch himself and pwned his ass, despite Kessler having his exact same powers. Coincidence?
Turns out the architect of Cole's misery was himself from an alternate future timeline, manipulating events from the shadows to ensure this version of Cole became a better hero than Kessler ever was.
Yeah, you see, Cole's superpowers are molded through his actions, increasing in power and utility based on how good or evil he acts. Naturally, as a good person, Cole shaped his powers to be more focused to target the bad guys. That's pussy shit! Evil Cole is way more awesome sus! He blows everything up! Collateral damage? Who cares? He can control fire! Well, that just happened. Who wrote this shit?
The point is, Kessler's whole plan was meant
What
to
was
prevent
that?
the apocalypse, which would appear in the form of the Beast, a conduit of unimaginable power.
Only strong enough to create massive thunderstorms, fast enough to route electricity moving at 90% the speed of light, and maybe thanks to Kessler, tough enough to take on the Beast.
Which possessed the power of the Ray Sphere itself. It could regenerate at an atomic level and eradicate all of Empire City in a single attack. Unfortunately, after a grueling battle, Cole defeated the beast once and for all.
Though ultimately, it wasn't Cole's power that made him a hero.
In order to stop a plague created by the Ray Sphere, Cole sacrificed his life, eradicating the conduit genes and saving all of humanity.
Sure, he also killed thousands of conduits in the process, but hey, what's a few corpses when building a better tomorrow? This trolley stops for no one.
Cole was remembered as a saint by the people of New Marais, as a hero by the friends he left behind, and an inspiration to future generations. A true testament to the responsibility of power.
Good for him. All right, Alex.
With great power comes great responsibility, but not everybody's got an Uncle Ben to tell him that.
Alex Mercer woke up in hell. Manhattan Island was gripped by the horrific Blacklight Virus, transforming its citizens into terrifying monsters.
Alex had no memories. He was a man without a past, and maybe no future. But he did have one thing.
The Blacklight Virus can rewrite your cells all the way down to your DNA, and somehow it granted Alex incredible superhuman abilities. He can infect anyone he touches with this virus, altering their biology at the molecular level in seconds, and giving him complete control over their actions.
So Alex pushed on.
Yeah, but
desperate to avenge
Sasha's
himself
power,
and
I
the
feel
city
like,
by
is...
finding whatever monster unleashed this nightmare and eat them. Yeah, he can consume people to give himself a power boost.
It's
He's
true.
like Kirby, if Kirby listened to Linkin Park.
This extra biomass gives him superhuman strength, a greater metabolic rate, increased reaction times, and even a regenerative healing factor. Essentially,
Indeed.
Alex is an ever-evolving super being, the ultimate being.
Oh, like Shadow the Hedgehog.
By consuming victims, Alex also receives all their memories and experiences, including Peter Randall, a 69-year-old man whose entire history Alex processed in just 11 seconds. Being able to condense that much information in
I don't
that
know how to feel
timeframe
about
means
this
Alex
feat.
can perceive events happening within 5 nanoseconds.
Which is about how long I was married to my second ex-wife.
Alex
All
can
right,
shapeshift
cool.
his
Thanks
body
for that
at
information.
will, creating disguises, increasing his muscle mass, and forming nearly unbreakable armor. And when he wants to kill someone, he can become his own weapon, turning his legs into claws and
like
blades,
you do.
or generating countless tendrils that give him unmatched control over his environment.
With these goopy powers, he came up with a bunch of Street Fighter moves, like the air dash, the cannonball, the bullet dive drop, and the hunter dirt nap. Pretty sure that was my third ex-wife's boyfriend's.
All right, cool.
And
Thanks
after
for that
consuming
information,
enough
Boomstick.
people, Alex reaches critical mass and can unleash his evil slop in powerful ultimate attacks.
Like the Tendril Barrage Devastator. Oh, it's beautiful.
Despite being seen as the world's most wanted terrorist, fair, Alex uses his powers to stop the spread of the virus and end the city's nuclear devastation.
It was then he learned the truth. He wasn't Alex Mercer at all.
He was the Blacklight Virus itself, which absorbed the memories and likeness of the real Alex Mercer, who was not only dead, but actually responsible for all of this in the first place. To decipher this, I recreated the Blacklight Virus myself, the most dangerous...
Why is it empty?
He's right behind me, isn't he?
So the man Alex was hunting the whole time was himself. Dun dun dun.
Oh my gosh!
Turns out Dr. Alex Mercer helped create the Blacklight Virus, and when things didn't work out
Why?
and he was about to die, he recklessly unleashed it upon the city.
What a petty SOB. What he didn't know was that the virus would merge with his sentience and memories and become a new Alex. How? Why? Don't question it, it's a nothing burger.
But
Okay.
is this massive viral material that calls itself Alex actually human in any meaningful way?
The poor bastard sure tried to be. Too bad humans can be dicks, and everyone kept betraying him. Even the so-called love of his life, who shot him in the face. Whoa! So, Alex figured, obviously, humanity had to go.
Not just go, but be made better. Whatever goodness remaining with this
I
monster
will
left
admit
behind
I was
as he
I
plotted to
kind of
unleash a
oversimplified
second
it
Blacklight
in the
virus,
intro.
recreating humanity into a super species in his own image. Great
Humanity
power
did kind of screw him over
great
between the two
terror.
games.
Classic anime RPG villain stuff. And he was strong enough to do it. Alex can casually tear buildings apart, dodge supersonic tank shells, and even defeated the Supreme Hunter, who was tough enough to survive a nuclear blast that would have leveled Manhattan.
Based on the blast radius given in-game, that's 450 kilotons of TNT.
Speaking of nukes, Alex
Wow.
survived one. His healing factor is off the chain. And after being blasted into paste, All he needed was the tiniest bit of himself to come back good as new.
His healing occurs at the cellular level, making him virtually impossible to kill so long as he keeps consuming.
But attempting to take over the
That's the
world
thing.
and kill millions of people pissed off a certain James Heller, a dude who had just had enough of his fucking weird, fucking rambling shit.
Who used the same virus powers to consume Alex once and for all.
Live by the Kirby symbiote, die by the Kirby symbiote. But was Alex just a virus after all? I mean, what's more human than the urge to conquer the world, drive its species to the slaughter, consume its raw genetic resources, and crown yourself king? Maybe the day Alex Mercer died was the day he truly became human.
Wow, that was intense.
Fuck yeah, it was.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
It's time for a death battle!
And pause. They really did the whole "let's end this debate once and for all" thing. Wow, this really is a 2013 script. All right, so I still think Cole's going to win. Basically, they said that Cole was powered by like basically a nuke. It got like, what was it, 7, 8 megatons of TNT? I forget. Regardless, it was in the megatons range, whereas the highest number they gave for Alex was in the 450 kilotons. Sorry, that's still lower than Cole. And for the speed thing, they mentioned the whole processing memories thing. I don't know how to feel about that, but they did give a number for it in the sidebar. So they said it was like 66% light speed, whereas the stuff they gave Cole was at 90%. So again, got the speed advantage. Alex's regeneration, like I said, can be overtaxed. And the whole thing about the Blacklight Virus infecting Cole, Sasha's tar basically did the same thing, and Cole resisted it. At the very least, like when it comes to Alex infecting Cole, at the very bare minimum, what it's gonna do is it's gonna like slow Cole down, but it's not. I don't think it's gonna be enough to win the fight. And even then, that is a pretty specific win condition, and they look at this from every possible outcome. So, yeah, pretty straightforward. I still think Cole's going to win. If Alex does win, I'm going to be very surprised. I genuinely don't know how he can, but you know what? We're going to get right into it. I have seen the preview. I know the sound isn't finished yet, but just off the bat, it looks really good. I'm really looking forward to this.
I think I've still got room for dessert. Buddy, you are one sick freak.
Blunt. Oh, they cut off the screen. I have listened to the track. I need to listen to it more to give a full opinion. And preview's over. See what you got. Oh, he is going up. Good to see the amp in play. Oh, here comes ice. Damn. Alright, where you at?
What a nightmare. You don't know the half of it.
Wow. Oh no, those poor choppers.
So much power, and yet you waste it on these vermin. You and I can change this world for the better. The only vermin I see here is you.
Oh. Alright, the armor's out. Come on, Cole. You got this.
You don't want to give me your power.
Ow.
Fine, I'll just take it.
Yeah, okay.
Good idea. This world sure isn't perfect, but it's a lot better without you in it, asshole.
Alright.
Chaos!
Yay!
Now I know where that script was in the trash. I had to hear someone say awesome sauce.
Both opponents were incredibly versatile and deadly, and both could match each other's powers blow for blow.
They could each create weapons, amplify their strength, and fight at range.
But could Cole survive Alex's infection? Well, Alex would usually need to weaken an opponent to get that trick to work. Even then, the
True.
Ray incident that created Cole's powers in the first place ripped apart everyone else down to the atomic level. And the
That's
Beast's
also
attacks were
true.
capable of the same thing. Considering the Blacklight Virus only works down to molecular DNA, it's reasonable to say Cole would be able to resist it.
Sure, Alex could have potentially consumed Cole's biomass to give himself an edge, but Cole could just do the same thing to Alex, absorbing his bioelectricity to power himself back up.
But nothing could challenge the gap in power.
Yeah.
Everything Alex survived could simply not match Cole's force fields, and especially not the power of the Beast. The blast the Beast created actually had a much wider radius than the one the Supreme Hunter could survive. To compete with these foes, this means Cole was simply far more powerful than Alex.
Speaking of the Beast, Cole's ability to disintegrate it at the atomic level meant that even Alex's crazy molecular regeneration couldn't stand up to Cole's might.
Just like how Cole could overpower Kessler despite his resistance to electricity, or how he resisted Sasha's mind control.
There it is.
Which were eerily similar to the Blacklight Virus.
But I bet you're wondering, what if Alex fought evil Cole instead? Well, it'd be even worse, because that Cole took the Beast's power for himself. That's good night,
True.
your angry virus boy.
Alex was a versatile, deadly opponent, but Cole's counters, speed, and raw power.
Come on,
gave
Boomstick,
him
you got
the
it.
edge.
Alex got the Cole shoulder, just like this stupid script.
The winner is Cole MacGrath.
Cool.
Watching, and hey, are you a Death Battle member? We've got a ballot going.
That was
on
a cool
right
fight.
now.
I had me on the
Members
edge of my seat
choose
for a
a
while.
matchup for the next season. So click that join button
All right.
and jump into our
But
championship.
what do we got next? Yes! Transformers! Frieza versus Megatron. Alright. It's G1, but I will take it. Oh, I hope I didn't peek my mic when I with that. Okay. I've been saying that we need more Transformers on the show for ages. I wish it was Unicron Trilogy Megatron, but you know what? I will take this. It's more Transformers on the show. Hell yeah. All right, cool. Frieza versus Megatron. All right. I wondered if we would get Dragon Ball this season at all because we had so much of it last season, but if we were to get anyone, I'm glad it was Frieza because I feel like Frieza's been overdue for a while. So I am perfectly okay with this. I'm a little nervous though because I feel okay. So I've been in discussions about this matchup before, and it feels like a lot of the time the answer to who wins this kind of flip flops. Last time I checked, Megatron was there's like a random Autobot whose name I forget, who had like a feat of like calling a supercomputer slow, which was processing like information about the entire universe down to like the picosecond or something. I forget the exact details, but it got some like crazy high numbers that are higher than what you can give Dragon Ball, even with multipliers. Okay, so I don't have all the details right now, but basically what I'm trying to get at is that last time I was in a discussion about this fight, the winner seemed to be Megatron, and I'm totally okay with that because I like Megatron a lot, and I was never really like a super huge fan of Frieza, but I respect him for being like, you know, one of the like the first like big top tier villain in Dragon Ball, but as a character, I don't know, just didn't really click with me. But either way, but I don't know, it's just I'm always nervous whenever I get a character like this that I'm like a super huge fan of. But okay, so yes, we're getting Transformers on the show. That's really the main. We're getting more Transformers on the show. That's basically the main thing. If you can't tell, I'm kind of a big Transformers fan. You know, I don't think it's quite obvious. But yeah, I like Transformers a lot. I don't know if that's I know it's kind of hard to pick up on that, but yeah. But so cool. I am definitely going to be rooting for Megatron. I'm going to pray that the last time we discussed this fight still holds up. But anyways, that's for this fight. This was cool. I like this one a lot. I think this is probably the best way to do a sort of like lost episode sort of feel that they were trying to go for here. Because I feel like if they just went, oh, we have this like disc here that had like recording of the old episode, that would have been. I feel like that would have clashed way too hard with the with having a more modern style fight. So instead, it's just like, well, we have this script from like 2013 that we can use. So there you go. But all right. And then the fight. I like the fight a lot. That was such a cool fight. The visuals were really nice. The voice acting. Paul Guyett, however you pronounce his name, as Cole, and Kevin Andrew Rivera as Alex was the really good casting. I like them a lot. The music, again, I've only listened to it once as of recording this, but I did like it when I listened to it. It's a lot more, I don't want to say low key than I was. It's more low key than I was expecting, but it's still really good, and it fits well with the fight. I did notice a lot of potential references to Red Runner's old animatic he did in prep for like to kind of like promote this to be the winner of the Champions Ballot. To kind of get this on the ballot in the first place. I noticed quite a bit of that. I wonder, I do have to wonder how much of that was intentional. Yeah. Awesome. I enjoyed that. That was a really good fight. I'm like, again, the 3D fights this season are just going crazy. I love them so much. Yeah, all right. I don't really have much more to say on the matter. So, with that in mind, I'm just going to go ahead and get ready for Frieza versus Megatron, I guess. So with that said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.